In the spirit of the Chinese New Year, we're going to check out a Chinese film today. So Hand-Rolled Cigarette is a new Chinese film that just got released here in Australia last week. It's a neo-noir thriller, and I believe it came out a year ago or just sort of inside the pandemic in Hong Kong, but it's gotten its sort of global release across streaming platforms just recently. It's a really gritty sort of thriller. Think of Old Boy in that sort of style where it's really washed out and grayed out and really dirty and gungy. It's one of those types of thrillers. And the Asian cinema does that style really, really well. Probably better than the Americans do. It just lends itself to the way that the cities are set up and the way the buildings are so close to each other and the sort of little arcades underneath everywhere. It just works when you're going for that sort of style. So what's the plot here? We have Chui, if I've pronounced his name correctly. I'm not going to pronounce anyone's names correctly in this one, and Manny. Now, Chui is a retired military officer, and he now sort of makes a living working for a crime boss in Hong Kong. Manny is a Southeast Asian man who is living in Hong Kong with his cousin and his younger brother, trying to eke out a living by selling drugs and committing petty crimes and stuff like that. Our two characters come to a head when Manny and his cousin steal from Boss Tai, who is the guy that Chui is sort of working for. Chui at the same time has made a deal with another guy called Pickle, who is selling some stock to Boss Tai, but Pickle and Chui have a deal on the side that Boss Tai doesn't know about. And of course, everything goes to shit. The two characters' paths converge. Chui and Manny now have to try and navigate all these different parties trying to kill them without killing each other, essentially. Chui and Manny don't really get along too well. It takes a little bit for their relationship to develop, but it's a relationship that is out of necessity. It wasn't out of, care or want or anything like that. Overall, the film is pretty good. I'm pretty sure the director, it's his first film. You can see that he's taken a lot of inspiration from Old Boy, especially with the way he shot the film, with the way the action is. The violence in this film is really gratuitous. If you don't like really heavy violence, you probably won't like this film. The story does leave a little bit to be desired. It doesn't have a fantastic conclusion. The pacing is a little bit off. It's kind of flashing back at certain points, and the plot kind of unravels a little bit, and some MacGuffins appear in the form of people who show up to fix certain things. I would have been more interested in a story about Chui and his retired military officers maybe becoming pawns in the Hong Kong mob scene, maybe working for different bosses and having to come up against each other and things like this. I feel like the story they went for was kind of safe, and it did have a little bit of, don't be racist and be friendly to your neighbor, and you don't know where people have come from. It's very on the nose with the racial sort of stuff in this film, which is fine. You can tell stories about racism and have it work. It's fine. But yeah, look, overall, I still enjoyed myself. The film did feel a bit long, even though it was only like an hour and 40 minutes, which is probably due to the pacing. I did have a good time though. If you do enjoy thrillers, like neo-noir thrillers, if you liked Old Boy, you'll probably be more likely to like this movie. That's why I'm gonna give Hand-Rolled Cigarette a 6 out of 10. So tell me guys, has anyone watched Hand-Rolled Cigarette? Comment down below, let me know what you thought about it. Yeah, we got good quality Asian cinema and Asian TV coming out recently again, with like Photocopier and Squid Game and all this shit. So yeah, there's definitely a market for Asian cinema here in Australia, so it'll be cool. Even if you don't check this one out, guys, get on Netflix, get on Stan, watch the Asian cinema that's on there, because a lot of the stuff is really, really good, and you're definitely missing out. If you love your films, don't be afraid to jump out and watch an international film, because that's really all I review these days, and that's because I'm really enjoying it. So deal with it. So that's the review, guys. Hope you really enjoyed it. As always, click through to another video. We'll keep having some fun. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.